Should you charge your iPhone with your case on or without your case? Let me answer that. How is it going, everybody? You're watching Then About Tech, and this, of course, is a very common question. And to answer it, I actually have to separate this into different parts. Part 1, we're going to talk about wired charging. In part 2, we're going to talk about wireless charging, either MagSafe or normal wireless charging. So let's go ahead and start with wired. And to be fair and honest with you, there's only one thing you should care about and pay attention to when we're talking about charging your iPhone with or without your case on. And that's, of course, has to do with overheating. That's the only concern, that's the only thing you should think about. And just to be very, very clear, I'm saying overheating is something that you have to worry about and pay attention to, because naturally, overheating temperature is one of the worst villains when we're talking about your battery lifespan. So lithium-ion batteries just hate extreme temperatures, so super cold or super hot, which is this case. And of course, if you go ahead and always keep your battery warmer, hotter than it should, it will be bad in the long run. Your battery health, your maximum capacity will go down faster, and of course your battery will degrade faster just because of this, of overheating. So this is pretty important. And of course, I'm not gonna say in this video that you should worry if it goes beyond 35 degrees Celsius. That's not the point, because it's not practical. What I'm gonna tell you is very easy to do. It's a very simple test. So go ahead, get your iPhone without a case, and then plug it in and charge it as you would on your day-to-day routine, in your typical environment, in your typical scenario that you charge your phone every single day. So go ahead, plug it in, and then leave it charging as you would, and then after half an hour to an hour, grab it and then feel it, and just feel your iPhone and just feel how warm it's gonna be. And keep in mind that it's normal that your iPhone gets a little bit warm when you are charging it. It's completely normal. Then on the next day, you go ahead, you get a case, you get the case that you use normally, and then you plug it in with the exact same iPhone, on the exact same environment, in the exact same scenario, and then after 30 minutes, an hour, you go ahead, remove the case, grab your iPhone and feel it. Yes, it's a feeling. You don't have to worry about exact temperature numbers, just feel it. And if it just feels pretty much like the previous day, then you're good to go. You don't need to worry about it. Go ahead and charge your iPhone with your case on, no problem at all. But of course, if you feel that it got substantially hotter, and this is a common thing, okay? It's very common that some specific cases actually do this and actually overheat your iPhone, especially if they are very thick or depending on the material. So if you feel a noticeable difference, then the recommendation, of course, is charge it without this case, or just replace this case altogether and get a thinner case. So that's pretty much it. That's how much you should worry about charging your iPhone with or without your case. And of course, you shouldn't worry that much unless, of course, as I mentioned, it really overheats your iPhone. But then, of course, we get to talk about the second part of this video, which is wireless charging. And as I mentioned, I'm talking about your typical Qi charger or MagSafe charger. This works for both, okay? So if you're planning on charging your iPhone with your case on, you have to think about a few things. So if you go ahead and place your iPhone on the charger and then it doesn't charge, right? So you have a hard time charging, then it's probably because of your case, especially if you're using a thick case, not really compatible with wireless charging. And then of course, there's a super easy test to do. So you remove the wireless charger, and then of course, you plug it in without the case, you tap without the case. If it charges, no problem, it's the case, naturally. Now, you may have a different scenario, which is you put your iPhone on the wireless charger and it charges, but you realize it's slower than usual. It really is like too slow, or maybe like sometimes it charges, sometimes it doesn't. Again, it's probably the case. So you go ahead and replace it, or you just charge without the case. So this is a very common thing to happen as well. Another scenario that it's super common to happen is when you have something between the phone and the case. So it's so common that this happens. People often put, for example, credit cards, or they put like pieces of paper or whatever, like IDs and things like that, between like the phone and the charger right here, and then they go ahead and put the phone on the case. And of course, this may cause an issue, which is bad charging. So then if you have something between your phone and the case, like right here in between, and you go ahead and try and charge it wirelessly, you may have a hard time because there's something in the middle. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So if you're using your iPhone with a case and there's something right there in between, you may have a hard time. And this could actually be a little bit problematic depending on what you have between your phone and the charger. So if you have a credit card with a chip on it, like an RFID chip or something like that, you may have interference, and then this may actually damage the charger or your iPhone. So this is very, very bad. So if you are charging your iPhone with the case on wirelessly, make sure there's nothing between the phone and the case. It's just phone, case, and wireless charger. And of course, if you're doing this with a case and you are wireless charging it, pay attention to overheating as well, because again, since we're talking about this while charging normally, like with a cable, this may happen as well if you're charging it wirelessly. Pay attention to overheating as well. So then that's pretty much it when we're talking about charging your iPhone with or without a case on. If you're using a cable, just pay attention to temperature, to overheating. If it doesn't happen, you can go ahead and charge your iPhone with a case, no problem at all. And if you're doing this wirelessly, just make sure that it charges normally. So charging happens normally, normal speed, there's nothing between the iPhone and the case, and of course there's no overheating either. So if you are feeling it's completely normal, no problem at all, you may charge your iPhone with or without a cable, wired or wirelessly. It's up to you. Just pay attention to those things, those topics that I've mentioned. And that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one as usual, guys. Bye bye.